As wearable fitness devices and training apps become more sophisticated, they increasingly guide not just how we run, but when, how hard, and for how long. These systems interpret biometric data, issue recovery scores, flag injury risks, and even suggest specific workouts. But what happens when these algorithm-driven recommendations are wrong? When a runner gets injured after following advice from a watch or app, the consequences are more than just physical. They raise serious ethical and legal questions about accountability, transparency, and the limits of artificial intelligence in personal health. At the heart of the issue is a growing reliance on systems that offer the appearance of personalization without full context. Fitness algorithms make decisions based on inputs like heart rate, pace, GPS movement, and sleep data. But they often ignore or are blind to critical variables: past injuries, biomechanics, hormone levels, mental fatigue, pain history, underlying medical conditions, or the real-time feel of the body. So, when a device confidently tells a runner they are ready for a high-intensity effort despite lingering soreness or subtle form issues, it can push them toward injury. The ethical risk lies not just in the occasional inaccuracy, but in the perception of authority. Many users treat these recommendations as expert guidance, believing that because they are data-driven, they must be objective, safe, and optimized. But in truth, these algorithms are built on generalized models trained on population-level data, not on the unique physiology or lifestyle of the individual user. When harm results, the question becomes, who is responsible? Is it the user for following advice without critical thinking? Is it the developer for building a flawed model? Or is it the platform for marketing the system as more intelligent or personalized than it really is? Unlike a human coach or physician, who can be held accountable through professional standards or legal frameworks, algorithmic systems often exist in a gray zone of responsibility, one that current laws and consumer protections are not fully equipped to handle. This becomes more problematic when platforms blur the line between suggestion and prescription. If an app tells you to rest, it sounds like advice. But if it pushes you to do sprint intervals based on a readiness score, and you suffer a muscle tear, the advice becomes actionable and potentially harmful. The user may feel they followed instructions exactly as directed, unaware of the limitations or assumptions baked into the algorithm's logic. These concerns are magnified by the lack of transparency. Most fitness tech companies do not disclose how their injury prediction models are built, what data sets they were trained on, or what known risks or failure rates they carry. This creates an imbalance where the user is asked to trust a system they cannot interrogate, question, or fully understand. Worse, some platforms may overstate the capabilities of their algorithms and marketing, creating unrealistic expectations and setting users up for disappointment or injury. So, how should this be addressed? At minimum, companies should be required to disclose limitations, assumptions, and the intended scope of their fitness algorithms. They should clarify that these tools are informational and not medical or performance guarantees. Users should be encouraged to treat these recommendations as guides, not rules, and to cross-check them with personal experience, physical cues, and, when possible, human expertise. There is also a growing need for regulatory oversight. As these tools begin to edge into the realm of health advice, questions of consumer protection, informed consent, and liability must be addressed. If an algorithm can meaningfully influence behavior that leads to physical harm, then it carries an ethical obligation to be accurate, transparent, and rigorously tested. Injury prevention, performance improvement, and recovery tracking are important goals, but they must be pursued responsibly. When tech gets it wrong, the consequences can be real and lasting. As AI becomes more embedded in how we train, the running world will need not only smarter algorithms, but clearer lines of responsibility and a renewed respect for the one tool no device can replace: the lived wisdom of the human body.